Hi, I'm Noreen. I'm the founder of Lisheens House Suicide Prevention Charity. Lisheens House provides free counselling, education and training to people in West Cork and throughout Cork County. People often ask me, why did I start Lisheens House? I lost my husband Donal in 2007 to suicide, and when he was suffering with depression and in a mental health crisis, I found it impossible to access any help locally, not alone for him, but for myself and my children. And it had the trauma that it left behind as well. After he died, it was very, very difficult to source help locally for me and my kids. So I didn't want any other family to suffer the same fate and to go through what we went through. So I felt that it was so important for somebody to actually do something constructive about this. So rather than complaining to the government, which I did as well, I decided that I was going to do something positive. So I set up the charity so that I would enable other families to get the help that they need when they need it. Lisheens House wristbands with our helpline number on them. We sell these. We sell them in shopping centres and, wherever we can get a day to sell them at a shop. We sell them for €2. It was the kids in school actually designed them for me that I work in. Yeah. They did that one, the one with all the colours, because they said it was for boys and girls. So that's the one I started with, the one they hated, because they said it was boring. So then they designed these for me. They said that a boy and a girl would wear those. So then we had to get a cheaper version in the COVID because we couldn't get them. So I have 3 types. I don't have the blue ones much anymore. I don't actually know where I found that. How we fund the service? Through the generosity of the public. I'm very humbled that the public has come behind me and have supported me hugely throughout the last 5 to 7 years. We collect second-hand furniture, bric-a-brac, clothes, bed linen. Anything that you don't want to use anymore, we take and we sell in our furniture shops. We have one in Skibbereen, in Island Street, Skibbereen, and we have one in McCurtain Hill in Clonakilty. And we collect at your door. So you ring our office, we'll take your details, and our van will be on the road and we'll collect from you. And what we do in Skibbereen is we have our counselling rooms, but we have a very unique space in Skibbereen. We have a book nook, which is basically a book library, and it has an array of books that will suit all ages and all interests. You can go in, you can sit, you can read a book, you can buy a book for as little as €1, and that is a form of therapy for somebody, just to get out of the house and to go into the book nook, which is a very warm, welcoming space. And we also have a music library, which caters for all interests in music. You can come in, you can sit down, relax and listen to a bit of music. I know it's not in a counselling room. Some people mightn't want to go into a counselling room, but this is a way of getting out there, getting to meet people, and another form of therapy for you. And also by doing this, you're supporting Lisheens House as well, because we get thousands of donations of books for our library, which enables us to help your friend, your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, or your neighbour, or somebody in your community. No. Well, personally, from my own experience, I have first-hand experience of the legacy of a suicide. When my husband was unwell, I had 3 children, and the youngest being just when it started 10. And to be honest, if somebody had told me what we were going to live through, I wouldn't have believed them. And the trauma and the actual feeling of loneliness and isolation, living with somebody who is in a suicidal state, where you have nobody to turn to and nobody to ask for help, it was like being in our own little prison. So we all tried to function, but we weren't functioning and we weren't really living. And then ultimately, when Donald died and he took his own life, you know, that part of it was over and his pain had ended. But really and truly, the pain for the children had begun. And in living in certain parts of Ireland, particularly rural Ireland, I felt there was a lack of education and understanding around suicide and around depression, and particularly around not asking people how they were after they lost their dad to suicide. Now, you know, if you die by another illness, people find it easier to approach you. But if you die by suicide, there can be a veil of silence, and that can isolate your child and make them feel that they're very alone, which can affect their future. And some people cope and some people don't. And I certainly know from experience that some children do not cope and they need an awful lot of help and they need intervention and they need it quick and they need it easily accessible and they need it on their doorstep. Because as a parent, if you lose your husband, your wife, you're suffering, you're grieving, you've lost your partner, you've got so much to sort out between losing a second income, trying to cope. So the parent is trying to cope under extreme pressure. Can you imagine how a child feels? Losing a parent is traumatic for anybody, any child. When my father died, I was over 30. I had 3 children. I thought I was an orphan, that there was nobody in the world there for me anymore. But for a child to lose their dad or their mother through suicide, they need an awful, awful lot of help. And I wanted to give that help that my children did not get. So that's why Lisheens House is so important to me. I met people who introduced me to a training program which is called QPR, which is Question, Persuade and Refer. And while I'm at shop doors fundraising and stuff, a lot of people have approached me. They lost a colleague, they lost a school friend, a member of a football team, and they simply were lost as to how they didn't see any signs. And if they did see signs, they felt powerless as of what to do and how to ask that person, are you suicidal? So we at Lisheens House decided that we would go into any corporate company, any organisation, a GA club, a school, and we delivered these talks for free. Due to the success of our Skibbereen store and the increased volume of calls to our helpline, we needed to increase our take-in to support our service. So we decided to open a second shop in Clonakilty on McCurtain Hill. And as you can see, we have a wide range of furniture here in the shop, which was all donated by the people of Cork and Cork County. Because we do not receive any state funding, we are dependent on the generosity of the people to support us. Now, this shop was an old railway, part of the old railway building, and it wasn't used for many, many years. So we came in, we brought the shop back to life, and I think when people come here, they're amazed at the variety of stuff that we actually have, and the quality of it is amazing. And we brought this building back to life, and which enables us to save lives. So everything that you donate helps a person in your community. We're delighted that we're currently getting all our vans signed. So it'll have our logo and our contact details on it. And all our staff have received new uniforms with our logo on it. So we'll be easily identifiable when we call to your house. I can assure you that all our team are very, very friendly and very helpful. If you have any questions about the counselling, they'll also have cards and leaflets to give you. Our shop in Skibbereen has got a facelift because we've been donated over €2,000 worth of paint from Farrow and Ball through a local business, Fusion. And we have beautiful flowers from Swanton's Garden Centre. And we got $2,500 of a grant from Cork County Council, which has actually extended our book nook. we have to prepare for after COVID, because there's going to be an awful lot of people need an awful lot of help. So by us getting all this donated furniture, anything that people donate, that's what helps us to make a difference to people, because I personally get calls on my own phone every single day from parents because of one of their children that are not coping. I'm not going to say I'm glad when a parent rings the phone and said, oh, I have a problem with my daughter or with my son, but I'm glad that they could actually find my phone number and ring me. So that's why it's important that we're getting our vans signed, we're getting our contact details on our vans, because people will see us more, we'll get more, people will know that we're there, because our main aim is to get out there so people know that we actually exist. Because obviously I don't have the millions of euros for marketing companies, because I'm just one person. I have a team behind me. I have fantastic staff behind me, and I'm only one person. I can't do all of this what Lisheens House offers. I started it and it got so busy that I had to hire other people, and I have to obviously pay for their services as well. So everything that gets donated goes right back into the community, either by supporting a family from employment, to free counselling, to free training, to working in our shops. It's all about giving back to the community. That's what we do. Another door opens, and this is the beginning of the next chapter for Lisheens House. In September 2021, Lisheens House bought this 3-storey building in North Street, Skibbereen. Once renovated, it'll house a dedicated child and adolescent centre, which will cater for the surge in demand from young people turning to us for help. If you want to help us continue the fight against suicide, please click on www.lisheenshouse.ie/donate. Thank you.